Behind me you can see a field of stubble turnips. You can also see those sheep in the background as well. Now these are from a local farmer. He comes and we rent out these fields to him for him to use the stubble turnips over winter for grazing. They're really, really good at fattening up his sheep. And as you can see, they're very happy there. Because stubble turnips are often used as a break in an arable rotation, the fields aren't always fully fenced. Farmers who are grazing stubble turnips usually come with their own electric fencing, as you can see behind me, and this keeps the sheep in. They also don't give them the whole field at once, so they'll give it to them in breaks. They can graze, clear up, and then move on to the next bit. The most sheepish walk ever. He just got zapped by the electric fence. Oh, Ralph, you haven't learnt, have you? Oh, he's very embarrassed and doesn't want to come anywhere near me or the wire. Oh dear, did you get zapped? Did you get zapped? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. That's it. You come and sit with me then. He's embarrassed. He's hiding. Do you get zapped? Oh. Such a wimp, this dog. Animal, seriously. I just had the biggest fright. I'm just walking around the sheep and one of the tups was completely laid out and I was genuinely expecting the worst. Turns out he was actually just asleep and he's absolutely fine. He's just ready for his nuts. But yeah, animals always try and give you a fright. Particularly sheep as well, because they do like to die. Here's the other one, also very keen to have his nuts. Good boy. They're friendly really, these ones, which is good. But you've always just got to keep an eye on tups, just in case they decide they're taking a dislike to you, which they sometimes do. These boys are Beltex tups. Oh, he's not being very helpful. Beltex tups, and we put our Suffolk Cross ewes to them. So it'll be interesting to see what the lambs are like. Hopefully really nice and shapy, but hopefully not too difficult to lamb, but we'll see. How are you going to negotiate this, Ralph? Come on. Come on. Oh, he hates mud. You're soft, aren't you? Come on then. Come on, let's go. The boys getting their feed. There you go, there's one. This one is running over. There you go, lads. Now, these ones eat together quite happily, but I wouldn't leave them unattended just in case they got a bit protective over their food. Here comes Dave for his nuts. He's very keen for them as well. Come on then, Dave. Come on, let me get my bucket for you. So here he is. Oh, slight problem in that Dino thinks he's coming. No, Dino. All keen for a few nuts. But yeah, this is Dave. No, Dino, no. I'm just watching Norman, who is one of my pet lambs, and I just think he's a bit sore on this back foot. If you can see, he's just kind of holding it up a bit. So I might just see, he might have a thorn in it or something. So I'm gonna have a look. So I wondered if I'd maybe be able to find a thorn or something in there. I don't think I can, or not very easily visible. So what I'll do, I'll come back with some blue spray. He's a little bit sore in between the claws and that'll sort him out, well, within a matter of hours. This morning I'll be heading to Selby Livestock Market. I'm going to bring you along and show you what goes on at market. I've just arrived at market and I just thought I'd take just a minute to explain why livestock markets are so important. Obviously there's the element of being able to see your livestock sold, you can see what they're competing against, the stand of other people's stock and all those sort of things. But also you can't underestimate the value of livestock markets as a social hub, as a place for farmers to see other farmers, to chat, to come and get their breakfast and their lunch. So they're absolutely a vital part of the agricultural community in that sense. Just about to be the best part of the day, market breakfast. Can't wait. Anybody who's been to a livestock mart knows the drill. I didn't actually film my breakfast. I had a bacon sandwich on the move. I don't have time for a full breakfast, which is such a shame. So I've just had the most fascinating conversation with the market chaplain. Now, I didn't realise that every market is basically entitled, has access to a chaplain, and she was the most lovely lady, and she was telling me a bit about her job and the farmers she's speaking to. Now, obviously when she first arrived, there was a bit of oh, who's this new person in market? But she said now that people trust her, now that she's taken an interest, she's taken the time to learn about some of the challenges that farmers are going through. She has people opening up to her for the first time. They could be 50, 60, 70 years old, and they have never ever talked about the challenges they're having. And I just think it was absolutely fascinating to speak to her. So if your market has a chaplain, go and speak to them. They're not there to try and convert you. They're there more in a pastoral role, in a role to talk to, and if you've got any burdens as well. And the other thing she said, and she's the second person who said this to me today, it's such a privilege for her to work with farmers and in the agricultural community, which I just think is amazing. Just the most beautiful start to the day. I've had a really interesting afternoon. We've got someone here called Toby, and he's doing a Nuffield Scholarship, and it's all about cover crops. Now, as part of being a Helix farm, we've done some cover crop trials. I'm standing in one of our cover crop fields now, and it's just been really fascinating to talk to him, talk about why they started using cover crops on their farm, what cover crops could do for the soil, and yeah, just interesting to talk to somebody who's like-minded about what we need to do for sustainability whilst we're also producing food. Also very impressed with how these cover crops are looking. I'm at York train station, ready to hop on a train to London. This is to do some work with the NFU, so today with the ambassadors we're heading to Surrey Docks farm. A few briefings, a few meetings, ready for the Lord Mayor's show. Hopefully I'll get a chance to get lots of footage of the Lord Mayor's show, but that is on a Saturday, so it'll have to be in next week's video. Just about to arrive at Surrey Docks farm, and I never thought I'd be smelling basically livestock haylage mucking out in London, but here we are. So going to be really, really fascinating to see what they're doing and seeing how they're branching out to, I guess, children and people living in cities. Well, this is, I can't believe we're so close to the river, the city, and the farm. We're just about to walk in now, and it's just in an amazing location, so I'm going to be really interested to see what they do with the space, like how the animals are kept. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be really interesting. You can't get much more of a city farm than that being your outlook. We've just learned that the farm used to be a lorry park, which is amazing. There is grass, which I wasn't expecting. And really interestingly, the farm also is involved in kind of reparation and rehabilitation projects. So even things like knife amnesties, and there's a forge on the farm here which then melts down the knives and makes them into amazing artwork. So really, really interesting projects going on. Look how settled those goats are. Very, very happy. And actually that's the thing with all the animals that I've seen. They're very, very happy. You wouldn't have a clue that we are right in the middle of London.
The two sales were barren, so we just had to start again. So, and then obviously we had to explain that all to our guys as well. But you know, these things do happen, and if we've got sows that aren't breeding, we do need to move them on, and we need to get sows, you know, that are breeding.
The farm are very keen to show that things aren't behind closed doors, And even where these pigs are kept, there's a window for anybody who visits to look in. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen a muck heap with a window, but obviously it's all about education, and if you're able to see the muck and realising what goes into it and what it can be used for, it's really, really helpful. Just had a really interesting look at the muck heap. Of course, we're farmers, we wanted to look at the muck heap, and it's a really, really kind of sustainable model. So they have a digger, which is electric, which they use to turn the muck then gets rotted down and then ends up in community gardens around London. So a really, really interesting model. I still can't get over the fact that there's the farm and then that is the backdrop. These sheep, hopefully he's going to do it. A little scratch. And look at that tail! Well, this is a bit of a different final video to usual, but if you like the episode, please like, share and subscribe to my channel.